So in this video, we'll talk a little bit about the Bevel Tool right here. Two main ways that we can apply the Bevel Tool. One is on the entire object, or we can also apply it to individual edges. Now, the Bevel Tool is another one of those tools you have to be careful with using because we can either create n-gons very easily, or we can add a lot of unneeded polygons. So let's take a look and do the full object here first. We'll just select this object here and say bevel. We see that we have the fraction. This is sort of how much we create that bevel. Now, just a side word here real quick. In some programs, this is called Chamfer or Chamfer, depending on how you pronounce that word. And you can see that we have that setting right down here. We can turn that on, and that just adds edge loops all around our corners there, which can also be another helpful tool. We'll leave that on for right now. We can also add our segments, and adding two segments, fairly common to create a nice bevel along a sharp corner, so we get a nice rounded corner there. Very common though, intro-level students will make this pretty high, and this is completely unnecessary. We do not need that many polygons. I think the highest I have ever done is probably 3, but most of the time I'll do 2 or even 1 segment there. Now, in addition, we have the ability to control the depth, which is one of those that I don't change much, but it does have that ability to sort of go inward like that as well. So not going to mess with the mitering or the miter along for this, so we'll leave that there for right now. We'll just go ahead and hit W to sort of lock that in. Let's select 2 or 3 edges here. Let's go ahead and grab these edges right here, and let's put on the bevel here again. You can see we need to lessen our fraction here. Let's do it something like that perhaps. And let's sort of take a look. It looks pretty good from this angle. The problem is that from the sides that we did not grab those edges, what do we have here? We have n-gons, right, which we want to avoid at all costs. And so we end up with something like this. Now we could go ahead and maybe use our multi-cut. We could go here and try to go all the way across. Probably can't do it that way. We'll go ahead and do it here and then here, right? And we would have to do that the several times all the way around like that. So that can be pretty dangerous to work with, right? Because it creates those n-gons. Even worse, let's undo this and let's do that bevel again, and let's bring that fraction down to about 0.1, and let's add those segments in. And just with 2, now look, we're even worse off here than we did with just the 1 segment. So just be aware, the Bevel tool, also known as a Chamfer tool in other software, is there to use. It's a great way to model hard surface types of things that we want to have just a little bit of a rounded edge. And I often use those on things like bits of wood or metal.